I never thought the vast, sun-baked plains of Wyoming would turn into my personal battlefield. But that's exactly what happened when my own family decided I was just dead weight. I'm Jack Harlan, the quiet one in the Harlan clan. The guy who handled the gritty paperwork while my brothers chased the glory of our family ranch. We'd built Harlan Ranch into a powerhouse over generations, sprawling across thousands of acres, dealing in cattle, oil leases, and those tricky federal land permits that could make or break us. But deep down, I always knew my role was invisible until they made it painfully clear. That morning, the air in the old barn office carried the familiar scent of leather and dust. But tension hung thicker than usual. My brother Travis, the self-proclaimed visionary with his polished boots and endless talk of scaling up, called a family meeting. He stood there like he owned the place, which, technically, he did now, after Dad's passing left him in charge. "Jack," he said, his voice dripping with that false charm, "we're landing this big federal grazing lease. 2 million acres from the Bureau of Land Management. It's our ticket to the big leagues." I nodded, my mind already racing through the compliance checklists, environmental impact statements, water rights filings, endangered species surveys. I'd been the one navigating those bureaucratic mazes for years, ensuring every I was dotted to avoid fines or shutdowns. But as Travis droned on about optics and fresh faces, a knot twisted in my gut. I felt it coming, the dismissal I'd sensed brewing since Dad's funeral. Why me? I'd sacrificed weekends poring over legal docs while they schmoozed investors at rodeos. Internally, I battled the resentment. Am I really just the background noise? The one who fixes problems before they explode? It ate at me, this invisible labor. But I pushed it down, focusing on the least details. Little did I know, that meeting would crack open wounds I'd long ignored. Travis leaned in, his eyes avoiding mine. "We're bringing in Lacey, our cousin from Colorado. She's got that MBA polish. Knows how to talk to the feds without sounding like a hick." The words landed like a gut punch. Lacey? The one who'd barely set foot on the ranch since childhood? I stared at my calloused hands, the ones that had typed endless forms to keep us legal. They think I'm replaceable, I thought, the anger bubbling like a storm on the horizon. But I stayed silent. My default mode. "Understood," I muttered, folding my worn notebook, the one filled with years of notes on BLM regulations. Later, alone in the dim office, I logged into the federal portal. My credentials still active, Tier 3 clearance intact from the last audit. I scrolled to the delegation tab, heart pounding. Federal land leases required a primary compliance officer, and per protocol, any change needed 90-day approval with notarized forms. I'd never delegated authority, always handling it myself to avoid slip-ups. With a deep breath, I toggled it to disabled, typing a neutral log, reassignment pending review. No drama, just procedure. But inside, turmoil raged. Why fight when they've already written me off? Let them feel the weight of what I carry. By evening, the ranch buzzed with excitement. Travis hosted a barbecue for the team, steaks sizzling, beer flowing, celebrating the new era. I stood in the shadows, watching Lacey charm everyone with her city slicker tales. Travis clapped me on the back, oblivious. "Jack, you'll train her up, right? Make it seamless." I nodded, but my mind screamed, "Seamless? After you've sidelined me?" The betrayal stung deeper than any branding iron, stirring memories of Dad praising my diligence while Travis got the spotlight. That night, sleep evaded me. Inner voices clashed, forgive them, or let consequences teach what words can't. The next day, reality crept in. Travis emailed the family. Jack's off the lease team. Streamlining for efficiency.
No apology.
Just business. I printed the roster. My name gone. Replaced by TBD. Staring at it, I felt a hollow ache. Years of loyalty. Erased like dust in the wind. But I didn't rage. Instead, I forwarded the HR note to myself, highlighting more presentable face. It wasn't about looks, it was about undervaluing the quiet work that kept the ranch afloat. As days passed, I withdrew, focusing on minor tasks like fence repairs. Internally, doubt gnawed. Am I overreacting? Or is this the push I need to reclaim my worth? Travis and Lacey pushed ahead, redesigning presentations with flashy graphics, ignoring the legal backbone. They didn't check the registry, assuming internal changes sufficed. But in the West, federal rules are ironclad. Skip them, and you're courting disaster. The kickoff loomed, a virtual call with BLM officials. I watched from afar as they prepped, Travis boasting about agile operations, Lacey's name bolded on slides. But deep down, I knew, without proper transfer, the lease couldn't activate. Clause 7B in the directives was clear: no interim without vetting. My silence wasn't vengeance, it was exhaustion from being unseen. Let them learn, I thought, the emotional weight pressing like the endless Wyoming sky. The ranch felt emptier those weeks, the wind howling through the canyons mirroring the storm inside me. I'd always been the steady one, the Harlan who fixed leaks before floods. But now doubt flooded my thoughts. Was my loyalty a fool's game? Did Dad see this coming when he left Travis the reins? I replayed childhood memories, Travis the charmer, me the bookworm buried in ranch ledgers. The pain deepened, not just from exclusion, but from realizing my family viewed me as expendable. Travis called me into the main house one afternoon, the scent of Mom's old apple pie lingering like a ghost. Jack. About the lease. Lacey's got questions on the water rights. He said, notebook in hand, explaining the nuances, riparian laws, prior appropriation doctrines unique to Western states. Lacey nodded politely, but her eyes glazed over. We'll handle the presentation, Travis interjected. You focus on support. The dismissal hit harder than before, stirring a raw ache. Support? That's all I've been. Unseen scaffolding for their ambitions. I didn't argue. Instead, back in my cabin, I stared at the federal portal again. My name still anchored the compliance record. No one had filed Form 310K for reassignment. Internally, conflict raged. Warn them, or let hubris collide with reality. The humane part of me whispered forgiveness, but the wounded side demanded acknowledgement.
Ishos silence. Disatling autotorvares onurates.
It wasn't sabotage. It was stepping back from a role they'd stripped away. As the kickoff neared, the ranch pulsed with false energy. Travis hosted strategy sessions under the big sky. Lacey scripting talking points laced with buzzwords like sustainable synergy. I observed from the corral.
Mending tack.
My mind a whirlwind. They think polish trumps substance. But in the West, land laws don't bend for pretty words. Memories surfaced, Dad teaching me about the Taylor Grazing Act, emphasizing integrity over shortcuts. His absence amplified the betrayal, leaving me adrift in emotional isolation. The day before, an email pinged. Reminder, primary compliance officer for Harlan Ranch lease. I bookmarked it, heart heavy. They forgot I'm the key, I thought. The realization bittersweet. That night, insomnia gripped me. Inner monologues clashed. Revenge feels empty. But so does invisibility. What if this forces change? The drama unfolded in my head, deeper than any ranch dispute. At dawn, I rose to chores, the sunrise painting the Rockies gold. Travis buzzed by in his truck, waving casually. Lacey prepped in the office, her confidence masking ignorance. I could have intervened, but the hurt held me back. Why save those who discarded me? Yet, a flicker of empathy emerged. Travis was Dad's favorite, burdened by expectations. Still, I let the clock tick. The virtual kickoff started at 9 a.m. sharp. I listened from my cabin, audio only. Travis's voice boomed. Welcome, BLM team. Harlan Ranch is primed for this partnership. Slides clicked timelines, projections. Then, the federal liaison's flat tone. Confirm your cleared compliance officer for credential validation. Silence. Travis stammered. That's Lacey Harlan, our interim lead. The liaison pressed. Per registry, the agent of record is Jack Harlan. Present credentials, or we can't proceed. Panic echoed through the speakers. Lacey whispered frantically. Travis blamed internal updates. But the liaison was unmoved. No Form 310K on file. Without the listed officer. This violates protocol. Reschedule after compliance. The call ended abruptly, leaving chaos.
I set frozen.
Emotions surging, guilt mixed with vindication. They feel it now, the void I filled. But deeper. Sorrow welled. This family's fracturing. And I'm the fracture line. Calls flooded my phone. Travis. Frantic. Jack. What the hell? Fix this. I didn't answer immediately. Wrestling internally. Rush back? Or demand respect? The drama intensified. My heart pounding with unresolved pain. Finally.
I texta per protocol.
Reinstatement needed. File the forms. No more. No less.
Inside.
Tears threatened. Why couldn't they value me before the fall? The afternoon blurred into accusations. Travis raged in the main house, audible across the yard. How did we miss this? Lacey packed files. Defeated. I retreated to the hills. Horseback. Mind racing. Dad built this on trust. Have I betrayed that? The emotional weight crushed heavier, forcing self-reflection amid the sagebrush. By evening, the CEO equivalent, our family lawyer, called an emergency huddle. 2 million acres stalled because we ignored basics. Voices rose. Fingers pointed. My name surfaced repeatedly. Get Jack back. I lingered outside, overhearing the betrayal's sting evolving into profound sadness. We're blood, yet strangers in worth. The fallout hit like a Wyoming blizzard, blinding, relentless, freezing everything in place. I holed up in my cabin, the wooden walls echoing my isolation. As calls and texts piled up, Travis's messages shifted from demands to pleas. Jack. Family first. Help us out. But each word reopened wounds. Family? Where was that when you benched me? Internally, the storm raged fiercer. Guilt clawed at me for the chaos. Yet righteous anger defended my stand. They need to learn humility, but at what cost to our bonds?
Mom.
The quiet matriarch knocked that evening. Her eyes, lined with ranch life's hardships, held unspoken pain. Jack. This lease could save us from debt. Travis, messed up, but you're the fixer. I hugged her. Emotions choking, fixer? That's my curse. Always cleaning up. Never credited. We talked by the fire. Her stories of Dad's struggles stirring deeper turmoil. He trusted you with the legal side because you're steady, she said. I nodded. But inside, steady means invisible. Why not celebrate that? Sleep brought nightmares. Dad's disappointed face. The ranch auctioned off. Waking, I checked the portal. Still my name. Unyielding. The humane shift crept in. This isn't just revenge. It's a mirror for their flaws. But the drama amplified, my heart aching for reconciliation amid the rift. Next morning, Travis confronted me at the barn. You disabled delegation? That's sabotage. His face reddened, fists clenched. I met his gaze calmly. No, brother. That's protocol. You skipped steps. Words hung heavy. Internally, sorrow surged. We're tearing each other apart. Echoes of childhood rivalries. He stormed off, but his parting shot, you're jealous, pierced deep. Jealous? Of what? Your spotlight built on my shadows. Lacey approached later. Apologetic. I didn't know the depth. Teach me? Her vulnerability cracked my resolve slightly. We sat. Me explaining Western water laws. Sage grouse protections under the Endangered Species Act. But as she left, doubt flooded. Am I prolonging pain for pride? The emotional layers peeled back, revealing family fractures beyond business. By afternoon, the lawyer drafted reinstatement papers. File this.
Jack.
BLM needs 48-hour sync. I reviewed them. Heart torn. Sign and return to invisibility? Or hold out for change? Memories flooded. Dad's deathbed words. Protect the land. Protect each other. The weight crushed. Tears falling in solitude. I've protected the land. Now. The family? Pressure mounted as investors called, threatening pullouts. Travis paced the porch, defeated. I overheard Mom consoling him. Jack's hurt, but he'll come around. Her faith stirred profound guilt. Am I the villain now? Inner conflict peaked, vengeance fading into empathy. The drama shifting from external clash to soul-searching redemption. That night, around the family table, tensions boiled. Travis admitted, I undervalued you.
Jack.
Optics blinded me. Lacey nodded. We all did. Mom urged unity. I spoke softly. It's not about apologies. It's about respect for the work. Emotions raw. Voices cracked, mine included. Healing starts here, but scars remain. We agreed. I'd reinstate, but with shared credit. Filing the forms at dawn. Relief mixed with lingering ache. The portal updated. Access syncing. But deeper. Transformation brewed. This lesson, valuing the quiet pillars, might mend us. The emotional intensity overwhelmed, promising growth from pain. The rescheduled kickoff loomed. But now with humility. Travis deferred to me on calls. Internally, hope flickered. Perhaps this breaks the cycle. Yet, sorrow for lost trust lingered. The drama's heart pulsing stronger. Reinstated. I logged in at sunrise. The portal's green lights a bittersweet victory. The ranch awoke slowly. Cattle lowing in the distance. But inside me, emotions churned like a flash flood, relief drowned by waves of unresolved hurt. They need me now. But will it last? Travis's earlier admission echoed. Yet skepticism gnawed. Words are cheap in the West. Actions endure. The BLM call resumed mid-morning. I presented credentials seamlessly. Jack Harlan, primary officer. The liaison nodded. Validated. Proceed. Slides advanced. But Travis let me lead compliance sections. Lacey assisted quietly. Success tasted hollow. Internally, this win exposes our fragility. What if Dad saw this division? The meeting ended positively, lease activated, but the family's undercurrents surged deeper. Post-call. Travis pulled me aside. Thanks.
Bro.
I get it now. Your work's the backbone. His eyes held genuine regret, stirring my turmoil. Forgive fully? Or guard my heart? We shook hands, but the embrace felt tentative. Mom beamed. Harlan's stick together. Her optimism amplified my inner conflict, joy clashing with fear of repetition. As days unfolded, changes trickled in. Travis included me in decisions. Lacey shadowed earnestly. But emotions intensified, gratitude mingled with resentment's remnants. Am I healing? Or just patching? A family hike in the canyons forced reflection, wind whispering secrets. My mind screaming, betrayal lingers like shadows at dusk. One evening, by the campfire, stories flowed. Travis confessed pressures. Dad's shoes are big, I panicked. Lacey shared insecurities. I jumped in blind. Their vulnerabilities cracked my walls wider. We're all flawed. Chasing worth. Tears welled as I opened up. I felt erased. The raw exchange deepened bonds. Drama evolving into cathartic release. Yet, nights brought doubt. Is this real change? I journaled furiously. Inner monologues pouring out pain, hope,
Fear.
the humane lesson crystallized, undervaluing kin erodes foundations. Empathy grew. Travis's arrogance masked insecurity. Mine hurt. A minor crisis tested us, a water rights dispute. Travis deferred. Jack's call. We resolved it collaboratively, emotions peaking in shared triumph. This is redemption, I thought, heart swelling with fragile optimism. As the lease progressed, profits rolled in, but fulfillment came from mended ties. Mom's health scare unified us further, rushing to the hospital, prayers uniting. Their vulnerabilities exposed, life's too short for grudges. My emotional core shattered and reformed, stronger. The ranch thrived, but the true harvest was understanding. Internally, peace settled, silence taught, forgiveness heals. The drama's intensity crested, leaving profound growth. With the lease secured, the ranch bloomed under summer sun. But my inner world transformed most profoundly, emotions a torrent, reshaping everything. We've survived the storm. Now, nurture the calm. Travis's changes deepened. Weekly check-ins. Crediting my input publicly. Jack's the guardian of our legacy, he said at a town hall. The words healed scars, yet stirred tears. Too late for painless mend, but timely for renewal. Lacey became an ally, co-authoring reports. You taught me substance over shine, she admitted. Our talks unearthed shared pains, her outsider status. My overlooked role. Empathy flooded. We're mirrors, reflecting family flaws. Mom watched proudly. Dad would smile. Her words evoked waves of grief and joy, amplifying the emotional crescendo. A family retreat in the mountains sealed shifts. Around the fire, confessions flowed. Travis's fears of failure. My resentment's roots. I dimmed your light to brighten mine, he choked. Hugs followed, raw and real. Internally, catharsis overwhelmed. Forgiveness isn't erasure, it's evolution. The drama peaked in this vulnerability.
Hartslade bara.
Back home, I led a compliance workshop for the team. Applause followed, but fulfillment stemmed from unity. The lesson: value every cog, or the machine grinds. Profit soared, but bonds mattered more. Picnics, shared chores, laughter echoing. One dawn, atop a ridge, I reflected. Betrayal birthed growth, silence sparked change. Peace enveloped, emotions profound, gratitude dominating. The ranch, once a battleground, became sanctuary. In the end, we learned, overlook the quiet strength. And empires crumble, but redemption rebuilds stronger. And in that, our family's true legacy endures.